listeners, and welcome to the Quarter Century Podcast for the Colonel and Mr. Bigg. 25th podcast. That's hard to believe. Just think back 25 years ago, what you're doing. What have you done for 25 times? I've had sex the last 3 years 25 times, but other than that, I haven't, Colonel, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. You and I were talking about technology before we hit record, and it always pisses us off. I got one other complaint this morning. So I go downstairs to work out. This building, this apartment we live in is cheaply built. You've been here. There's no ventilation system out in the hallways. And every fucking time I go downstairs, somebody has shut the exterior windows in the hallways. It's the only air we can get into this place, and every time I go out there, somebody has shut the windows. It's like, what are you trying to do?
It's got to be an old couple. It's got to be an old person that's probably cold all the time. That's and there's no air conditioning in the hallway, right?
No, and thank God it doesn't drift into the apartments. But some people have dogs on the third floor, and the hallways stink like shit. So the only fresh air you can get in is through the windows, and somebody likes to shut them. So I open them every day, even during the winter months.
The owner's probably a slumlord that don't want to spend any money on the building, right?
Yep.
Well, this time next year you'll be in a house, so it doesn't matter, right?
Hopefully. Yep, exactly. Yeah, hard to believe, number 25. Number 25.
It is hard to believe, isn't it? When we first started, it's hard to believe that. And the amazing thing is we have 25 followers now. That's the amazing thing.
Actually, I was at Quick Trip last 3-4 days ago. Ran into a couple of young men that I knew, and before they headed out the door, the younger one said, "Hey, I listen to your podcast every week." And it's like, "Hey, thank you." So that's always cool. That's always cool to hear.
That's always cool. Yep. Yeah. Always cool. Yep. Well, I'm working on shirts and hats, so hopefully, I don't know when they'll be done, but we'll see. I'm not going to order a lot to start, but then when the people starts requesting them, then we can.
I think you can
$50.
Yeah. I think like we follow people on YouTube that they don't produce mass quantities. You order, they get printed as people order them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can order. I think 3 is the minimum you can order from this lady, which is fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
So. Mike, you wanted to talk about D-Day, and that was last Saturday, June 6, 1944, and we didn't get to it till now. But let's remember D-Day just a little bit. Talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I had the privilege to walk onto Omaha Beach a few months ago, and it was absolutely surreal. I was the only one down there, and I came down from the cemetery, the American Cemetery, and walked down the actual hill that the troops would have stormed up on D-Day and walked down onto the beach, and it was just amazing. But I just wanted to share on June 6th, 1944, the number of troops and so on and so forth. There were approximately 156,000 Allied troops landed on Normandy on the first day, about 73,000 Americans on Utah and Omaha beaches. I was able to go on to Omaha. And about 83,000 British and Canadian troops on Gold, Juno, and Sword beaches. There were about 24,000 airborne troops, roughly 69,000 vessels, including 1,200 warships, 400 landing craft and landing ships. And around 20,000 vehicles were brought on shore that day, and then also 2 mulberry harbors, which I'm reading a book right now called Sand and Steel, and it basically talks about all the logistics that went into preparing for D-Day. And it was interesting. They had about 3,000. First of all, the Germans always thought that the Allied forces would land at a town that had port capabilities. Well, obviously, we surprised them landing on the beaches in Normandy. But one thing we needed was a way to get the supplies and vehicles off of ships. And so secretly in England, over 3,000 people worked on these 2 mulberry harbors, and they were tugged and towed over on D-Day and installed so we could get our logistical support stuff on shore. And the 3,000 plus men that made these mulberry harbors didn't even know what they were making. they would make them in pieces and then assembled, and the guys didn't even know what they were making, and then they were tugged over and used to support offloading all the logistical supplies that were needed. So very interesting book, and like we've said before, Tommy, I don't know if we get that many men to storm the shores if needed nowadays. Those guys back then had a set of nuts on them. So hats off to them and
Yeah, I don't
all
know.
the men and families that sacrificed.
Definitely.
So
I think I told you before, and I'm going to get you this book because I cannot read it. It talks about tactical forces and all kinds of stuff that went up to my dad's infantry division. It's a book right here. It's called 94 and or 94, and I'm going to get that to you. It says, what's it say here? History of the 94th Infantry Division, and I was looking there a little bit when we talked about D-Day. My dad landed on Utah Beach. I thought it was they were
okay.
back in Omaha Beach, but they landed on Utah Beach from England. They come over from England. They went there
Yep.
and prepared over there, and then landed on Utah Beach. But it talks about tactical forces and all this stuff, and I cannot get into it. But that's kind of stuff that you love, and you probably could
Yeah.
read through that in a couple of days. But I would love for you to read that and maybe just then I can talk to you about it more and understand it a
Sure.
little bit better. So.
That's
Yeah, he
amazing.
landed on Utah Beach, so and I think I told you before he got injured in the war, and I really think that it messed him up mentally. I think I did research a little bit when he sent him back. They sent him to some mental hospital, or that's what it said. It said psychiatric ward down somewhere in South Carolina, some fort down there, or some yeah. And I think that really led to his addiction, his
Hmm.
smoking addiction, his drinking addiction, and but I think it all had to do with the war. But it's interesting that we honor that day, this day, and I know Cicero here on the bridge. They put flags up for Memorial Day, and they leave them up through D-Day, and
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful sight as you drive down the road. You got flags on both sides of you, and a small little town like this does that. And
Hmm.
uh, I think you see ceremonies more in small towns than you do in these big towns anymore. To tell you the truth, these big towns
Yeah.
just want to protest and riot against that stuff. And these little towns still honor those things, so it's amazing to see that.
Yeah. One other story when Jill and I were in Normandy and we're driving around, it's just amazing how many American flags you see. And I may have told this story on a previous episode, but we stopped in this little cafe. It was before 11 o'clock. The door was open and we just kind of poked our heads in and asked in the best English, hopefully that the French would understand us. We asked if they were open and they said no, but knowing we were from America, they told us to come in. They said we could order grilled cheese, which we did. So we're thinking, this little grilled cheese sandwich would come out. Here comes out two plates, beautiful grilled cheese, French fries, a salad, drinks, and they treated us like royalty. And they do that for the Americans that come over. They absolutely love the Americans. So pretty cool to see.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely. All right, you want to get our first sponsor? This first sponsor this week's going to be Erica's Place, and I am proud to announce that this is Erica's 15th anniversary. She's celebrating here in the next month or so with special promotions, customer appreciation surprises, giveaways, and prizes, a chance to meet the employees. From our family to yours, thanks you for all the memories you've given us the last 15 years. That's Erica's Place in Cicero and Noblesville. Daily specials. They have a senior menu. They're open from 6 to 8 Monday through Saturday and 6 to 2 on Sundays. Again, go stop in at Erica's Place, help them celebrate their 15th anniversary. And it's hard to believe that it's been 15 years. I remember when our niece Erica took that over, and it doesn't seem like it's been 15 years, but it's just a great place to eat. You get good food, a lot of it. You'll always have a take home box and that you can eat the next day or later that day or whatever. So, make sure you visit Erica's Place again in Cicero and Noblesville. Little bike trail sports today, Mike. You got anything going on Royal Sports?
Yeah, a couple of updates. Our girls in softball, girls lost to Ithaca Weston in sectional semifinals by a score of 11-0. And then Ithaca,
Mm.
Weston, who was the number one seed, lost to number two Belmont in the sectional semifinals. So Belmont's going on to state. And the boys, we went to this game. The boys lost to Cochran Fountain City again in a regional championship, 3-1. They had runners on second and third with one out, and the next batter that came up. Now, I've never coached baseball in my life, but I said they should walk him. Very first pitch, the kid hit a double, and um,
Uh,
they took the lead. We had runners on second and third with one out in the first and didn't score, but when they had runners on second and third, that's when I said, no, they should walk this next kid to set up a double play, and they didn't, and he hit a double down the line, and they took the lead and eventually won. So they'll be playing, I think today, Cochran Fountain City plays today, and they have to win two more down at, oh shoot, I forget where it's at. They have to win two more to make it to state. So good luck to them.
where is that?
That's all.
Where's Cochran Fountain City at? Where's Cochran Fountain City at?
A little bit above La Crosse area up that way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
I got just this has to do directly with Royal Sports, but Heather Witt, who we all know was an all-state basketball player and softball player. A lot of people forget she played softball at Royal. But her Mundelein High School team in Illinois went to the state finals and got beat 6-1 in the state finals. So she is state runner-up. She won the state 2 years ago, and then went back this year as state runner-up. So she's had a really great career as softball coach down there, and her husband's the basketball coach at the same. Well, I think he's at a different school, but somewhere in that area. So it's good to see that she's still continuing her athletic prowess as she moves on to coach down in Illinois.
did you hear about the team,
A little
Tommy?
bit about Husky sport.
I heard Heather's team. I guess the day of the game, they got stuck in the hotel elevator, and the firemen had to get them out. That's what Jill told
Oh,
me.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. No, I didn't hear that.
So I don't know much
No
about
wonder,
the story.
no wonder they lost.
Yeah.
No wonder they lost. Well, they got beat 6-1, and I think the opposing pitcher had like 12 strikeouts or something like that.
Wow.
So softball's all about pitching, as baseball is. I mean, it's just crazy. But Husky sports, we just finished the girls sectional. I mean, the girls state, girls and boys state track meets. The Huskies had our 400 meter runner. Her last name is Rieger. No, what's her first? Anyway, her Cora Rieger finished second in the state, which was a great accomplishment. And our high jumper was fourth in the state, which is for a little small school is good. One thing I wanted to bring out about Husky sports, amazing. I don't know about Wisconsin, but in the state of Indiana now, in the month of June, you can practice football Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. No pads. But on next Monday, we have a scrimmage against another high school, and 2 weeks later, we have a scrimmage against 3 high schools. So I'm not sure if they dress in pads. I don't think they will, those games, but I just find it interesting that football's starting already in the month of June here in the state of Indiana. It's crazy. And then they have a grace period in July, and then the season starts early August. So it's
right around the corner.
It's amazing. These sports are year round now. It just goes year round. It's crazy. It's um, NCAA baseball and softball. Softball is over as Texas won for the second consecutive year in softball. They ended up beating, I forget who they beat, but anyway, Texas Tech, I believe, they beat their rivals in the state of Texas. They won, and the Baseball World Series starts this week. And in that, again, is two teams that West Virginia and Troy had never been, which is really exciting to see that happening. And it's good to see those teams go. And they actually play each other in the first game. And then Ole Miss, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, and Alabama. Interesting. I just read this morning, I think it was, that Alabama is the only team that has teams that win in softball, baseball. Did they go in football? The national champ, they didn't win the national. But anyway, they had like 6 or 8 teams that went to the national champion. I mean, to play for national titles this year, which is amazing for a school like that. And then you get the same repeats. I mean, Texas is there in baseball, and they just won softball. So you can see these teams that have the most NIL money and what's going on
Yeah.
there. It's just kind of crazy that nowadays it's a team that spends the most, gets the most. So it's nuts, but exciting time of the year. Uh, I've never been to the World Series. Penny and I's always talked about it, and we definitely want to get out there one year. And my brother went a couple years ago, and he said it's just an amazing atmosphere. And if you want to go, I guess you got to get your tickets, hotel reservations, like as soon as this one's over for next year, because it just fills up
Yeah.
so quickly. So
That's on our bucket list too. Yep.
let's talk a little bit about MLB. I saw the Brewers had an unbelievable game last night. I don't know if you watched it. You might want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I went to bed, but I woke up during the night and saw they had won. I just watched the highlights this morning. So they were out at Las Vegas Park playing the Athletics, and both teams combined for 11 home runs and 34 hits in last night's game. The Brewers winning 15-14 and 12, and they've been playing tremendous ball. They just swept the Colorado Rockies. They're 41-23. They've won 4 straight. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, and overall, the Brewers now have the second best record in the major leagues. Last year, they finished first. This year, they're back in second place behind Atlanta. So playing great baseball. So always exciting for the Brewers. Love them.
Yeah, they
What
are. They're
about?
playing really well. The Yankees. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, how about your Yankees? Yankees, how they doing?
Yeah, they won last night 7-5 against the Guardians. They scored 2 runs in the 10th inning that gave them the victory. But they've been playing pretty well. Tampa Bay won last night, so they're still both tied for
Yep.
the
Tied for
first
first.
place in their division. Judge is out for 6 to 8 weeks, which is going to hurt them big time. But they got Rodon and Cole back to pitching, which will help a lot. Last night they used every pitcher they had except for one, and the Guardians used every pitcher they had. So a lot of relievers came in last night, and they've won. They're 6-4 in the last 10, and I noticed that the Miz is leading the National League in strikeouts. I saw he had
Mm-hmm.
116. And kid just he's having an amazing year, and right now I'd
Yeah.
say he's the #1 contender for Cy Young. I'm in the National League. It's
Yeah. Yep.
just exciting time of the year. Again, it's a long season, but we'll see what happens. But both teams are playing pretty well. The Brewers playing a lot better than the Yankees right now, but we'll see what happens as we go along.
Long season.
I want to talk a little bit about travel teams. Uh, as you know, Ayla plays in a basketball league, and I was talking the other day to somebody about how expensive it is for these teams to travel. And as you know, I'm working back at the hotel a couple days a week, and I happened to work last Sunday morning, which there was a big baseball tournament in town, and actually it started Wednesday. And so I was just figuring those parents come on Wednesday and stay Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, 4 nights, and it's $299 a night. So just for the hotel, we're looking at $1,400, $1,500. That doesn't include the meals. That doesn't include driving. I saw license plates from Colorado, North Dakota, from Tennessee in the parking lot. I mean, it's just amazing how much money is spent on travel teams, and not just baseball. I'm talking basketball, volleyball, now it's soccer, it's lacrosse, it's everything. And I'm just amazed that and I saw the other day, and this just drives me nuts. A friend of ours, well, family friend of ours, some of their relatives has a kid that lives in Florida, and he will be a sophomore this coming year. And the parents or the mom posted that he got his second offer, D1 offer from Howard University. Now, I argue that there was not an offer. There might have been a letter sent. We saw your son at a camp and we're interested and we're going to watch him the next couple of years, but there's not an offer. And so I was telling Penny last night, I said, Ayla got an offer from Notre Dame last night in her game. And she said, what? I said, yeah, there was a lady sitting there in a Notre Dame sweatshirt said she had a good game.
You know,
Parents is just amazing.
a few years ago, I saw, I don't want to give away who this person was, but they tweeted out that they were offered by Nebraska. The sport was basketball. And you're thinking, holy shit, D1 Nebraska. No, it was a small D3 town in Nebraska, but
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah,
tweet said offered by Nebraska. Well, partially true, but not completely true.
I think I told you I listened to that Free Ride, and Bobby Carpenter, who played at Ohio State, played in the NFL. He was talking that I think he said 77% of the parents that have kids in travel ball believe their kids are going to play D1. 77%.
Yep.
And less than 2% make it to D1.
Yep.
So they spend all this money, and that's how these organizations are making money. They spend all this money
Oh,
with the thinking that their kids are going to be,
yep. Yep.
it's
And
just
then you have
amazing. I'm
then you have sports writers. I know we do here in Wisconsin that have big names that are writing about these kids to pump them up, and the kids read that crap, the parents read that crap, and they think, "Yep, I'm going. I'm going to Wisconsin, or I'm going to Illinois, or wherever." Yeah.
in the state of Indiana, they rank kids starting in the 7th grade. In other words, they will rank the top 7th grader in the state, top 8th grader. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just nuts. It's just crazy what's going on, and you see what's going on in college football and basketball with the NIL. It's just, and now we're paying high school sports. It's just,
Yep.
I find it just, it's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
nuts what's going on. I mean, I love to watch sports, and I will continue to watch sports, and I think it's still competitive. Although I think everything is geared towards offense anymore. We not very few teams in basketball. And we play defense.
Yeah.
Football, you'll see a good defensive team once in a while, but most of it's all about offense, about the
Yep.
quarterback, about the running back, the wide receivers, and it's just
Yep.
kind of crazy that happens. But
Speaking of cost, Tommy, dance, another sport, I guess you could call it
oh,
over here. It's seven, eight, nine, $10,000, and that's not counting the costumes. So it's crazy. Big money
Ayla
maker.
to play Ayla to play third grade basketball this year. Third grade, $2,500. Now, am I a stupid grandparent? Probably I am, because mom and dad can't afford it. So does grandpa and grandma kick in? Yeah, we do. But I suppose if she didn't play, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, she still could play in her backyard, and probably when she gets in middle school, start playing, competitively and be decent. But uh, I'm guilty of it. I mean, I talk about people spending that money, but I'm guilty of spending. I mean, it's not near the $10,000, $20,000 that some of these people are spending, but.
Yeah.
And we don't travel. We don't go from, state to state to watch her play. And who knows, when she gets older, maybe we do that. We did with Rachel. So
Yep.
we'll see.
As long as she's enjoying it.
Got another. Yep, that's exactly. If she quits enjoying it, then we're not going to do it. But we got
Right.
another sponsor of this 25th podcast of the Colonel, Mr. Bigg.
Trailview Meats, farm-raised beef by the whole, half, quarter, or by the pound. Cody Lawson, located a couple of miles outside of Elroy and Highway 71. Has ground beef in 1 and 2 pound packages, steaks, including ribeyes, porterhouse, T-bones, sirloins, New York strips, tenderloins, and flanks, roasts, briskets, short ribs, and much more. If you have a meat needs and do not want to buy your meat from the store like we do not want to, contact Cody Lawson at Trailview Meats. Again, farm-raised beef by the whole, half, quarter, or by the pound. And we get ours there, and it's absolutely wonderful. We know what's being fed to those cattle, and it's just quality meat. So Trailview Meats.
It is an excellent product. Mike brought me down some when they came down for the wedding, and for Memorial Day, I forgot to mention this, we made hamburgers on the grill. He made me 3 packages of hamburgers, 5 in each package, and they were excellent. They were absolutely fantastic. They cooked just right, and they had a great flavor. And it's just like, yeah, when it's like from farm to table. I mean, it's an
Mm-hmm.
excellent product, and yeah, if you don't know where to find it, just get a hold of Mike up there in Wisconsin, and he'll certainly turn you on to it, because it's excellent beef.
Excellent beef. Word of the
Word of the
day?
day today is, yep, sacrifice. Suckrifice. Sacrifice. Doing what you absolutely must do, even though you really hate doing it. How many of us sacrifice, Mike?
Especially when we
Doing
are
what you
working.
absolutely must do,
Yeah.
even though you hate doing it, right?
Yep.
I've always said, if you if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life, right? And if you hate your job, every day will be a burden. There's no doubt about
Yep,
that. So,
absolutely.
uh, but hopefully
Absolutely.
nobody will sacrifice today.
Nope.
We got a
Nope, not at
conspiracy
all.
today, Mike?
I did. I did a little research. This has been popping up on my feed, so I thought I'd look into it a little bit more. You remember the Las Vegas shootings back in 2017, and the one shooter, his name was Stephen Paddock. A lot of people think that there were multiple shooters, so I just did some research on some of the conspiracy theories that are out there. And people claim that several shooters and even some shots were fired from helicopters, and that the FBI and Las Vegas Metro Police are concealing information. Some people believe the federal government staged the shootings in order to ban bump stocks. Some people believe Stephen Paddock, who was the shooter, used a machine gun. They believe there were crisis actors used in the crowd, and some people believe because it was a country music venue that the majority of the people attending would be conservative, and an Antifa type shooting or shooters, caused all the deaths that happened there. Some people think that Paddock had recently converted to Islam. Again, another rumor is government involvement in order to ban bump stocks and semi-automatic weapons. There's been a lack of transparency, and Paddock's home actually burnt down. So any stuff that was inside his home
Really?
burnt down shortly after. And again, no motive has ever come out. And people claim that a woman, 45 minutes prior to the shooting, was going through the crowd saying, "You're all going to fucking die." So maybe she was drunk. I don't know. And then a Kimberly, I'm going to butcher her name, Suchomel, Sucamel, I believe, was not injured in the shooting and claimed to seeing and witnessing multiple shooters. And she suddenly died a week after the incident in the hospital. So it's just, again, no motive has ever come out. It was big on the news for about a week or so, and then it's swept under the rug, and his house burns down, and people die that have, claim to have seen multiple shooters and so on and so forth. And we will never know the truth, but just another conspiracy theory that we wanted to throw out there. So,
And you never hear anything about it again. Nobody was ever,
no,
I mean, you never hear anything about it.
no,
Nothing.
nothing, nothing.
You know how
Nobody's
many
looking
people
into it.
died? I forget how many people died. No.
Let me look real quick. I think it was 50 some.
I mean, several people died. I know that. I'm not
Okay, I
into
guess.
you do. I mean, I'll read one once in a while, but I saw one the other day about Kobe Bryant and how they think there was a conspiracy theory behind that helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant in it, and everything that I mean, it was weather and all this stuff, but I don't remember what they said, but something was going on at the time that Kobe was about ready to buy or do, and they think that that had a lot to do with the helicopter. I mean, there are so many powerful people in this country anymore with so much money, Mike, and there's so many people that's willing to do those things for little or no money, and it's just amazing that. And again, we're not saying these things did happen. We just I find it interesting too to just think about this stuff. Just
Yeah,
think. Just like last week you talked about Nancy Guthrie, and it's
yeah,
dead. You don't hear anything about that. You
nothing.
never hear anything about it anymore. It's crazy.
They think I was reading today. They think Prince was silenced because he was going to turn some elites in about the music industry. There was a gentleman I just read this morning that apartment complex, that building that collapsed in Miami a few years ago, and it collapsed straight down. There was
Yeah.
allegedly some well-to-do guy that lived in there that was going to open the books on a lot of elites and sex trafficking and all this shit, and so they think that he was killed, along with many other people, by having that building collapse. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It'd be
But
interesting to do some research into this Anon corporate thing that we talked about before, and who the celebrities are that belong to that or secretly belong to that, and I
we'd wake
be
up dead.
amazed at the elite. Yeah, well, that's true. If we start investigating, we might not. Yeah, I mean, they may come to Cicero, Indiana, and poison my dog's food and poison my food or something. You just never know.
Yep.
It's crazy what's going on, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some other things that's going on in the country. But It's a frightening time, really, when you think about it. It's a
Yeah,
fabulous country to live in, but then when you start thinking about it, the things that go on, and just uh,
dirty.
like last night I was watching the news last night. A 6-year-old autistic boy woke up in the middle of the night, wandered out of his house, and walked into a at 3 a.m. in the morning. There shouldn't have been a lot of traffic, but walked into the road and was hit and killed by a driver that just drove on, never stopped.
Oh, jeez.
And I just don't, and that's they said that's the fourth child that's been killed in the last month in Indianapolis by hit and run drivers.
Unreal.
And you know what? I'd hope that I never hit anyone, but if I do, I know I'm stopping. I'm not going to go. I mean, you just stop and you
Absolutely.
suffer. I mean, suffer the whatever. I mean, if it's most of the time, I
Yeah,
wouldn't think it'd be my fault, but it's just sad to think that people. I don't know how you'd live with yourself by after
yeah,
doing that. I don't know,
yeah.
or maybe being a child, maybe you thought you hit a raccoon or something. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But there's so much shit that goes on in this country. It's nuts.
Yeah, I just saw on the news where a woman down in Florida, midnight, walking her small dog, and in the neighborhood, they had reported these two pit bulls many, many times, and the two pit bulls jumped the fence and got a hold of her and drug her into a different yard and mauled her to death. And her boyfriend came running out to try to help her and couldn't do anything. He was swinging away at the dogs, but they killed this woman, and it's just crazy some of the shit that happens. And I guess the
And
owner of the two dogs,
the dogs are probably still in the backyard of the home,
yeah.
more than likely. I
But
mean,
I think the owner is being charged with some sort of homicide, or manslaughter or something. But yeah, crazy
I would
stuff.
hope so. Yeah,
Yep,
it's
yep.
crazy. Well, one of our favorite segments here on the Colonel Mr. Big, being our 25th podcast, is a segment that we call Spit or Swallow. And it's very simple. If we don't like what we're talking about, we will spit. And if we kind of agree with it or whatever, we will swallow. And we got several items here we want to talk about today. And I'm going to skip over the first one real quick, but I want to talk about Trump's name being taken off the Kennedy Center. I'll spit on that one if you want to talk about it a little bit, Mike. I mean, it's crazy what's
Well,
going on. It's nuts.
did they take it off? I haven't heard what happened there.
Oh
You're
no,
gonna
it's
have to fill
off.
me
Oh,
in.
it's off. It's off.
They took it
Yeah.
off.
Oh yeah, it's off. The Democrats, yeah, they took it off. Trump had it put on 18 months ago, and now they've taken it off. It's just
You know what's
it's
gonna
just
happen
nuts what goes on
when
in Washington.
there are people literally bitching about the reflecting pool. They want it back to the
Oh, I
LG
know.
moldy, leaking just because he fixed it. It's just crazy. Jeez.
I'm surprised we haven't heard more about this UFC fight that's going to happen Saturday night at the White House. I'm surprised
Yeah.
that we have not heard more from the Democrats about that. I mean, because
Yep.
you see the scaffolds and stuff going up, the lights that's going up, and there's 4,500 invited guests. So maybe half of those are Democrats. Maybe he decided to invite the Democrats so they wouldn't bitch about it. So
They can't
it's
bitch too much because when Biden was in office, they had topless women on the White House lawn. They had drag queens. They found cocaine in the White
yeah,
House from some party, so
that's
they can't
true.
bitch too
That's
much.
true. And then he was at the NBA final game last night, and they booed him during the national anthem. Now, how stupid is that? That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but then you look at other media sites and they say he was cheered during the national anthem. So it's
Yeah, I
all
know. It's nuts. Yeah, it just
it's
depends who you
depending
listen
on
to.
who's reporting it.
It's
Yep.
crazy. But I find it interesting. The first sitting president that ever attended an NBA final game, which is kind of
Yeah.
amazing. I know presidents have gone after they've gotten out of office, but
Yep.
I want to
Yep.
talk a little bit about this NCAA congressional hearing on college athletics, and this is the second time they've been before Congress. And I don't think government should get involved in this, but they keep doing it, and I guess they got more time than they have anything else to do in Washington. But I know Nick Saban spoke and about
Hmm.
what's going on, and they did pass some things. But I heard somebody talk the other day that this will never pass as a single bill. It will only pass if they include it in another bill, like the defense bill or something like that. If they hide it in there, it may get passed. But as a single bill, they don't think that the Democrats will ever pass it, which is
Jeez.
crazy to think about what goes on in Washington. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Just
When it's right, they don't care just because it's Trump. Yeah, they're looking at
not only
standardized Standardizing NIL rules nationwide, establishing transfer and eligibility regulations, creating athlete agent standards, certain antitrust protections, preemptive conflicting state laws, and adding athlete health, scholarship, and educational protections, along with transfers and so on.
Yeah, it's a mess. I just don't think I just don't. I mean, I agree with some of the things they're saying, but I don't think it'll ever be a law, and I don't know that government should even get involved in it. I think it should be up to the individual.
I would rather have.
Go ahead.
I would rather have people like Nick Saban head up a committee, you know, of a cross section of men and women that come up with the rules and regulations, and then they're implemented by the NCAA.
One thing they're talking about, though, and we had a little discussion the other day with my new son-in-law about they're wanting to get rid of conferences. And I would hate to see the Big Ten Conference go away. I really would. I just think there's a lot of competitiveness in that. And I mean, the championship game could go away. It wouldn't really bother me, although it does bring in a lot of money for the Big Ten. But to get rid of conferences, I don't know. I hope they don't do that, because these conference tournaments and the interplay that they have, I think it's really beneficial to the individual conferences, and also to the total NCAA.
You could really see a downfall, though. Years ago, I know we had Badger tickets, football tickets, and when they started bringing in, 13, 14, adding schools to the Big Ten, Wisconsin wouldn't play every year. They wouldn't play Ohio State or Michigan State or whatever. And you could see the decline in attendance because we were bringing in San Diego State and, the Waniwak School of Deaf and Blind and so on and so forth.
Right.
And people want to see those rivalries. And, some of that's gone away. Now Big Ten's up to 18 teams? So
crazy, isn't it? Are they going to change the name, you think? How can it be the Big Ten with 18 teams? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean,
we were talking about 10 inches.
The Middle America Conference. Well, there is a Mid America Conference, so you couldn't name it that. But it's just crazy. But there's a lot of competitiveness in there, and I see the SEC this year are going to play 9 conference games on their football schedule, so that'll be interesting. It's always interesting. Those teams seem to always be. All of them are usually tough, except for a few. But yeah, I would hate to see conferences leave. I just think this super conferences and things they're talking about, I hope that never happens. But anyway, I spit on congressional hearings for college athletes. I don't think college sports. I don't think. I only bring this up because an incident that happened this past week. Do you spit or swallow on having sex in the dark?
Well, if there's sex,
the lights on, could you do it? I mean, from what I know about you and the things you do, I think you probably could do it out on the goddamn courthouse lawn. But
hey, but sex, I don't care if the lights are on or off. We usually have them on, not on directly above us, but like a bathroom light on.
Right.
But in the dark, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't care.
The older I get, I got to be able to see what I'm doing down there. I mean,
exactly.
And make sure you're wearing that goddamn miner. I was wearing that miner's hat with the goddamn light on it. That thing got in the way. It just couldn't use it no more.
Got to make sure you're entering the right area.
But I remember when Penny and I, and shit, I shouldn't be telling these stories. Used to, it had to be totally dark. When you first was a young kid having sex it had to be totally dark. It was just kind of, you just went by smell and that was it. You try to and now it doesn't matter. We could have the lights on, the blinds open. It doesn't really matter to me anymore. I mean, it's
we always have to shower.
The neighbors would have to have some. What?
We always have to shower before.
No, you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want that. We don't want anything floating around. We do, honestly.
Yep. That takes a mood. Oh, do you take showers together though to get ready for it?
No.
So you take a shower and lay on the bed and wait on her to get a shower, or how does that work?
Or vice versa? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, if it smells like cologne, leave it alone. If it smells like fish, it must be a dish.
Oh my God.
Well, we don't shower before. We have. I'm not saying we haven't, but it's not a prerequisite. I'll never forget. We took my brother and his first wife camping with us. I think I've told this story, but Penny and I we were in the tent. We were going at it, and we just went to bed. And so I hear this rustling outside, and so I kind of look out, and it's my brother going to the bathhouse. And a few minutes later, rustling, and she's going to the bathhouse. So the next morning, I said, "What the hell? What went on last night?" He said, "Oh, no, no, no. We don't have sex unless we shower. That's her prerequisite. I had to go take a shower before we had sex." I said, "While you're camping? Come on." I said, "Seriously." Oh my, it's crazy. Hey, FIFA is coming to the United States, and it starts this week. And I thought we'd talk a little bit about this. I've heard a lot of stuff about it, but one reason I put this on here, I find it amazing that, and I can understand why, and we'll tie this into another story. They're playing in 8 American cities, and Chicago is not one of them. Chicago did not bid to have a FIFA game in Chicago. Now, that politics in the state of Illinois is ridiculous.
They got to be the dumbest people around.
Last week, the Bears said that they have intentions to build a stadium in Indiana, northern Indiana.
Yep, Hammond.
Now, until the ground is broke, Hammond, Indiana. Until the ground's broken, I don't get really too excited about that. But the governor and everybody in the state of Indiana believes that the talks they've had with them, that Chicago has pissed them off so bad that they are not going to stay in Chicago. And I can't. That governor and that mayor of that town, they're just going to ruin that city. I mean, it's a beautiful city, and it's a fantastic city, and I cannot believe they're not having a FIFA game there. It's just,
nope.
I remember last time, well, we went there when Sylvia was our foreign exchange student in Wisconsin. We took her to a soccer match there. I think it was a USA against England or something, but I'll never forget the crowd was amazing, and Kansas City's having a FIFA game, and Chicago's not. That don't make sense.
Yeah. We went there when the U.S. played Panama for the Gold Cup. We went to a great atmosphere, but you're right. The governor and the mayor are total idiots. So nothing there. Yep.
And they said the security at FIFA in the United States is going to be the greatest security of any sporting event in the world ever. So
yeah,
I mean, but with all those people coming in and all that stuff, it's kind of, I can understand that going on. You want to talk a little bit about ETF sick leave?
Yeah, so this is the.
Oh, by the way, I spit on Chicago not having a FIFA game. By the way,
me too.
Let's talk about ETF sick leave.
This is definitely a spit. So I accumulated when I worked for the state of Wisconsin a ton of sick leave, which they keep it in a pot, and the pot is equivalent to dollars, and you can use those dollars to buy health insurance, which Jill and I did for 5 years. We were very blessed to be able to do that. But when it came time for when I was able to get on TRICARE, we had $1,500 left over in our pot of money of this sick leave. I have begged to get that money from the state, and because of policies and rules and laws that are written, they won't give it to me. They say I have to enroll in a health care plan, and I've told them I don't need your health care because I'm on TRICARE through the military. And they said no, and I asked about getting an HSA, and I asked about using it to pay our dental premiums, which are kind of connected through the state, through Delta Dental. And again, no. So I'm going to file with the state of Wisconsin Insurance Commissioner to see if I can somehow get that. It's just not fair. I don't think, I earn that money and it's sitting in a pot. I will use it for dental. I don't give a shit, but they just won't give it to me. They say I have to enroll back in health.
As long as it's been, there ought to be interest on it too.
Hell yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean,
it's just like Social Security. If your spouse dies, they take it away. You should get that.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. And does ETS stand for Employee Trust Fund? Is that what ETF is?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just nuts that the state. Of course, Mike, with all the fraud going on in these states, that money's probably long gone. I mean, seriously, it's probably been used for something else, and it's
Evers probably bought a butt plug with it or something. So
yeah, it's just nuts. But the thing is, it's yours. That's the problem. It's your money. It's not like you're trying to get something that isn't yours. It's just
right.
It's just
nuts.
we talked a little bit about this previously, but and I think I brought up last podcast that there's a new collegiate baseball league called the Prospect League in the Midwest, and the Kokomo new team is called the Kokomo Creek Chubs, the Creek Chubbies, the Kokomo Creek Chubbies, and that made me think about morning chubbies. And because of my health and stuff, I take some tadalafil on a regular basis, and I used to wake up with morning wood. That sucker was like a timber, man. And now I wake up with morning chubbies, and the only thing it does is get caught when I try to slide out of the bed. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything for me. Penny, don't get excited about my morning chubby. It's just so I spit on morning chubbies because I can't do anything with it anymore. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? I'll be 75 years old next month, and you still get a morning chubby, a little morning wood, which is
Yep.
kind of, I guess it happens until you die. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I've heard of people dying, 90-year-old guy dying and having a heart on when he died. I mean, I guess it happens. I don't know. It's
Probably does. Yep.
it,
Yep.
and then that one funeral home up there in Elroy, Indiana, or Elroy, Wisconsin, they play with those. Oh my God. How
Yep.
about people living in socialism?
I
I think that's what we're doing. We're starting to live in socialism.
Yeah. Real quick, I read a book and I just saw, where when East and West Germany were there and the wall was built, and it wasn't to keep people out, it was to keep the East Germans in who were living, or East Germans in, yes, who were living under socialism. And we see how that turned out. And then you look at New York and what's happening up in New York and all the socialism programs that are being trying to be put into place. Of course, we all know Mandami is living high off the hog, and probably his cronies are, but the people are the ones that are going to suffer, and they'll realize it sooner or later. But I just want to throw that out there. Obviously, I spit on people living in socialism, but it's just amazing that no country has ever succeeded with socialism in place, and here we are trying it again. But, people that don't want to work hard and try to earn stuff for themselves.
Yeah, I got a buddy who lives in New York, and man, I wouldn't want to live in that state for nothing. It's just
No,
it's
no.
just crazy what's going on, and that mayor is nuts. I would not be surprised to see somebody shoot him. I mean, without
Yeah.
question. I hope that doesn't happen, but I wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But
Yeah.
in our neighborhood we have a community pool, and I spend some time sitting on my front porch, and I watch these girls or girls walk to the pool, and it's just amazing the bathing suits that you see people wear, and I'm not sure. I don't know that I like a string bikini with this string up your ass and both cheeks hanging out. I kind of like to use my imagination of what you see, and it doesn't have to be a full-fledged bathing suit, one piece, but a two-piece. But it's amazing, these string bikinis that you see even teenage girls wearing, and I'm just thinking, can you believe that the parents let their kids wear that? It's just amazing that I mean, it's crazy. I don't understand how parents let kids do that.
It's in the same vein as
I know I'm old school.
It's in the same vein as prom dresses. Look at prom dresses. They're the size of a pot holder nowadays.
They used to be long gowns. Everybody used to have long gowns, and now the shorter the better, man. If you're, I saw it was on Facebook. It was on Instagram or something. This lady was talking behind the podium, and she was a teacher. She's talking about dress code. And she came out from behind the podium, and her blouse was unbuttoned down. You could see her tits hanging out, and her skirt was so short you could see both cheeks of her ass. And she said, now this is acceptable in our high school. And I'm going, oh my God. I mean, I know it was a parody. It was a joke, but that's what happens today. And you're right. It's crazy. Prom dresses and the way teachers dress and the way kids dress at school. It's just, I spit on that big time. It's just crazy what's going on. But
when I was the director
sponsor, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I was the director up at the Challenge Academy, we had dress codes for the kids and for the employees. So we had a specific uniform we had to wear, and that just solved so many issues. So many issues.
Oh, without question. And a lot of people bitch that these private schools you have to wear a uniform, but man, I totally agree with that. I think,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
we got another sponsor down in northern Georgia, Antiques and Botanicals. They're located at 11268 Highway 53 East in Marble Hill, Georgia, up in the Smoky Mountains, 30148. They have a fresh collection of bouquets designed with lush textures, vibrant colors, and the beauty of summer in mind. A gentle reminder that flowers don't have to be reserved for birthdays, anniversaries, or special occasions. Sometimes they're for brightening up your kitchen table. That's Barb and Jay Grimes at Antiques and Botanicals. And I'm sure Barb Grimes had a lot to do with designing those bouquets, as she was our floral manager in the grocery store I worked at in Indianapolis here, and she did a fantastic job. And her and Jay's been married for quite a while, and they seem to be doing very well in the mountains of Georgia down there. And like I said, we'd love to get down to see them one of these days. And if you're in that area, just take a drive. I know I got some friends that live in East Atlanta, and I've told them about it, and hopefully they'll drive up there someday. Phone number 770-893-1494. That's Antiques and Botanicals. Look them up, put them in your browser, and there's a lot of pictures online that you can enjoy while you look at it. But check them out. Let's talk about All in the Family, and I want to talk about sisters. I'm amazed. My oldest daughter, did so much for my youngest daughter's wedding, for Rachel's wedding. Angie did so much to help out, and it's just nice to see how close they've gotten over the years, and it's a bond that you're not going to break. And I know, Mike, Jill, your wife, has a tremendous bond with her sisters too. And I just find it refreshing that in the family, the dynamics of a family, that a lot of times you see brothers fighting and even sisters fighting over all kinds of stuff. But it's great to see the bond that some sisters can have amongst themselves.
Definitely. Hold on a second. Says we're trying to reconnect, Tommy, so I hope we're still recording. This goddamn, this program sucks.
Well, I can hear you, and it says I'm recording, and
okay. Well, we'll drive on.
I don't know. It says you're on.
Yeah, it went away now, so hopefully we're. But yeah, definitely with
plays with June and Judy and Joanne, and go ahead.
Yeah, they're very close, 4 sisters. Jill has 3 sisters, and all 4 of them get along very well and get together on a weekly basis. I have 1 sister. She's wonderful. We've always gotten along extremely well, and we don't see each other enough, but, she's an hour away, but we call occasionally, and now that we're moving my parents, I'm seeing her a little bit more, but, yeah, nothing like having a great sister, definitely.
Speaking of that, you said you're loading the truck up with some stuff to take to the Fries. Was that from your farm or from their dad's farm?
It was from my parents. So from our farm stuff that they, that they want to sell.
Want to get rid of.
Yeah. So
we're going through. To sell a lot, right? Quite a bit of stuff, right?
We were in the basement the other day, and I love my mother, and she is wonderful, but she probably had 300 canning jars, those ball jars that you put pickles and fruits and vegetables, that you can in.
Those things are worth some money. Those things are worth money, I think. I mean,
yeah, they are. Yeah, she kept quite a few, and we did take some down to the Amish. We probably could have sold them, but the Amish used them. We took a bed down there too for the Amish, but a lot of stuff, old toys and stuff that were taken over to Randy's to sell in auctions. But 50 plus years of stuff on the farm that we're going through. So it's going to be a process. Goodness. I just ordered a dumpster yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Now that house for them in Elroy, is that ready to go, or is that something that has to get ready, or what is that? The one in Elroy?
I think it's ready to go. I'm actually going to call the homeowner today and just talk with her and ask a couple of questions. And Jill and I are going to pay the first couple of months of rent for them and stuff like that, and just make sure things are good to go. But yeah, sure. And then we're working on the well right now. It's amazing. This is a quick story, Tommy. So, the one contingency for the buyer was that the well had to be inspected. So, a well guy came out and said, "No, got to abandon it. It's got a dirt floor. We got to drill a new well." Okay. So in the process, we agreed 5 different well drillers came out to put bids in on what needed to be done. So yesterday I was at the farm and this young man comes out. He's been in the well drilling business for a number of years. He goes down into the well. There's a layer of dirt about this thick that has, ran down into the well over the years. It's a
Sure.
cement well. So the first guy that said it was dirt and it needed to be abandoned didn't even go down there to look at it. He just looked from the top. He didn't go down to kick the dirt around,
Right.
which the second guy did. I've gotten quotes to fix the wells anywhere from $1,500 up to $16,000. I was up there yesterday when the second driller guy came up there and he's like, "Oh, this is all. It can't be fixed. We got to do new electrical. We got to drill a new well. We got to take the windmill down." And I'm thinking, "Fuck you." Another guy was just
Yeah.
here an hour ago and told me everything can be brought up to code. So it's just amazing, what these well drillers are
Oh
trying to
yeah.
do.
I mean,
One guy's
yeah,
trying to
it's
do it.
yeah.
One guy's trying to do it the right way by the code, by the book, by what the DNR says, and the other guy just wants to make money. So we'll see what happens.
So the guy says he can go down there and get rid of the dirt. I mean, the inch layer of dirt probably, and then it'll be back to code.
Well, you've got to move. There's a pressure tank that will need to be moved. He's got to bring the casing up, and then the well has to be filled in and covered appropriately. And that's basically what he needs to do for about $3,500, somewhere between $1,500 and $3,500. But these other guys
Yeah.
come in and they look down there and they're like, "Oh, we need to drill a new well." They're just looking for the big money. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be very interesting. Tomorrow,
I
I
mean,
guess
if you drill a new well, what do you do with the old one?
they would probably
Fill
just
it in, or what do you?
fill it in, cap it. But one of the well drillers said it's salvageable. It's still a good working well. He just needs to
Yeah.
make some
Yeah.
updates to it. So
And you said the drinking water out of the house is fantastic,
oh,
isn't it?
it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's like when we lived up there. That's the only house we've ever lived in of the 8 or 9 we've lived in that we've ever been able to drink water out of the fountain. I mean, out of
yeah.
the faucet.
Yep. Us too.
I
Yep.
mean, it was so good. It was amazing.
Yep.
We always want to talk about grandkids on here. We have some wonderful grandkids, and I know I saw you posted some pictures of Lincoln over in Germany, graduating from I believe it was the second grade, right?
Yep. Second
It's
grade.
amazing how these kids, how resilient they are. That your family moves you over to Germany, you don't know anybody, and how well they do. They're resilient. It's amazing what they
Yeah.
can do, and uh,
Yep. And Becca, his mother posted a picture of his first day of second grade and then today his last day. And it's amazing how much Lincoln has changed as far as growing up. And I want to do a shout out to his teacher. Her name was Miss Chiotti. And Lincoln he's an active boy. And, she had to do some things with him to, he's always fidgeting and, bouncing around the room and whatever. But Miss Chiotti was so good with him this year and did so much for him. And Becca hand painted a card for her. It's just beautiful. And then Lincoln signed it. And this is the first teacher he said he will miss. He actually absolutely fell in love with her. And she was a
really,
wonderful, wonderful teacher. I met her. She's just a wonderful person, and I just wanted to do a shout out and thank to Miss Chiotti for doing what she did for our grandson Lincoln over in Germany. As like you said, Tommy, moving to a new country, new school, new friends, and he did absolutely wonderful. So, yep, proud of him.
yeah, it's amazing these teachers at that level, the patience they have and what they can do. And I think I said before, I mean, you can name all your elementary teachers, and I can too. I mean, and that was so what 60, 75, 70 years ago that you can remember
Yeah,
that. But
yep,
uh, my actually, it's great grandkids. I put grandkids on here, but T-ball ended this week, and it's just amazing. I love watching those little kids hit that ball and run. It's just so they pitch to them 3 times. If they miss, and they set the tee up and let them hit. And these kids, some of the kids will hit and then throw that bat 15 feet and run down to first base. And this one little girl Saturday came out to bat and she hit the ball pretty well. And then I looked and she was running in her socks. She had no socks on, and her parents were sitting next to me. And somebody mentioned that she said must have been her mom said, well, she says she can run faster in her socks and her cleats. So she was running around the bases in her socks. But And then we had a second birthday for our great grandson Bo on Sunday. Was just fantastic. It's just amazing to watch those little kids and the things that they do and how much they grow and the vocabulary. How you don't see them for 2 or 3 weeks and you see them, they've learned 15 new words. It's just
Yeah.
amazing that I'm just so blessed. We're both blessed. I'm just so blessed to have the grandkids, the kids, the grandkids, and the great grandkids. They keep numbering up. Uh, uh, and I want to give a shout out here to our good friend who lived with us for a while, Missy Pratt. Just yesterday revealed that she's going to have a baby boy. So we're pretty excited about that. That'll be coming here later in the year, and then we're excited for her and congratulations to her. So, but yeah,
Okay.
it's amazing. The
Congratulations.
family is amazing. We will always talk about our families on here, and we're so thankful and blessed, both of us, to have great families. And that's one great thing about making life worthwhile. And speaking of life worthwhile, our final, but not well, actually our most important sponsor probably is Healthy Prelude. And if you want to end on that, Mike.
Will do, and we're going to see her tomorrow. We get to see Anna for massages. Healthy Prelude is located on Scandinavia Lane in Elroy, and she will soon offer a full spectrum infrared sauna with 2 full body red light therapy panels and a salt therapy booth. She should be getting close. It's going to be interesting to see how long or how far she's come along with her new building. So, like I said, we've got appointments with Anna. She's not taking new clients right now, but definitely check out healthyprelude.com and all of her products on www.thisshitsthebalm.com. She's got Whoa Charlie, CBD and magnesium lotion, magnesium oil spray or roller, magnesium cream, roses and geraniums anti-aging face cream, and much more. I know we use the Whoa Charlie, the magnesium roll-on sunscreen, and Jill has other products that both of us use from Anna. And all her products are made from weeds, flowers, and 100% pure frankincense. In all of her oil-based products, that's Healthy Prelude, located in Elroy, Wisconsin. That's it,
Yes,
Tommy.
fantastic person and great products, great place. That is it. That's our 25th podcast. We're putting to rest. This will be on hopefully tomorrow if all technology works properly. And
Yeah.
again, quarter of a century. That's hard to believe. I love doing this with you, man, and it's great seeing you every week and talking to you. When are you going to Germany?
I leave a week from today.
Okay, okay. So we'll talk
Yep.
about that while you're gone. How long are you gonna be gone?
Just a week. Just a week. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Maybe we can do it
Yep.
Sunday before you leave, and then when you get
Yeah.
back, maybe we can do that. That
Yep.
might work that good.
That sounds good.
All right. Have a great week, buddy, and I'll talk to you sometime later in the week.
Sounds good, Tommy. Love you.
I love you. Take care.